Okay, so I need to tell you something about tomorrow, and honestly, I think it might completely change how you see the rest of this week, because February 5th isn't just another day on the calendar. Tomorrow morning, at exactly 4:30 in the afternoon, the moon moves into Libra, and I know that might not sound like a huge deal at first, but stay with me here. Because what's happening in the sky tomorrow is creating this really specific window of energy, a moment where I believe the universe is actually balancing the scales. And if you've lost something recently, if something was taken from you, or if you've been waiting for justice in any area of your life, tomorrow might be the day that shifts. I'm talking about real, tangible restoration, not just feeling better emotionally, but actual things returning to you. Information coming to light, truth revealing itself, lost items showing up, money that was owed suddenly appearing, the kind of cosmic correction that makes you stop and think, wait, how did that just happen? And here's what really gets my attention. While this energy affects everyone to some degree, there are 3 specific zodiac signs that are positioned right at the center of this cosmic realignment. 3 signs that have been carrying some kind of imbalance, some kind of loss, and tomorrow they're getting their cosmic justice served directly to them. Now, if you've been feeling this strange pull to clean out your space, organize your life, or tie up loose ends over the past few days, there's a very specific astrological reason for that, and I'm going to break it down later in this video. But first, I need to explain why tomorrow is so different from today. The shift from analysis to action is happening right now. So here's what I've been noticing, and I think you've been feeling this too. The past few days, they've felt heavy, anxious, like you're under a microscope examining every little flaw, every mistake, everything that's gone wrong, right? That's because the moon has been in Virgo, and Virgo energy is all about analysis, picking things apart, finding what's broken, identifying the problems. It's useful energy, don't get me wrong, but it can also feel really draining. It's that energy that has you lying awake at 3 at night thinking about all the things you should have done differently. But tomorrow morning, when the moon crosses into Libra at 4:30 in the afternoon, the entire frequency shifts. We move from identifying the problem to actually fixing it, from analysis to action, from this is what's wrong to this is how we make it right. And Libra isn't passive about this. This is cardinal energy, which means it initiates, it moves, it demands equilibrium. Libra is the only zodiac sign represented by an object instead of a living being, the scales. And those scales aren't just sitting there looking pretty, they're actively measuring, weighing, balancing. Ancient astrologers connected Libra to Ma'at, the Egyptian goddess of truth, justice, and cosmic order. When the moon enters this sign, there's this collective psychological shift toward fairness, toward settling the score, toward making things right again. And I really believe that's what tomorrow is about. The universe has been taking notes during this Virgo moon phase, noting what's out of balance, what needs correction, where the scales have tipped too far in one direction. And now, with the moon in Libra, it's time to restore equilibrium. But that's only part of the story, because while the moon is setting the intention for justice, something else is happening at the exact same time that provides the actual mechanism for how this restoration occurs. And honestly, this part gave me chills when I realized it. Something you lost is about to suddenly reappear. Here's why. Okay, so at 7:13 in the morning tomorrow, just a few hours after the moon enters Libra, Mercury and Uranus form a perfect square aspect. And before you glaze over thinking, that's just astrology jargon, let me tell you why this matters in the most practical way possible. Mercury is at 27 degrees of Aquarius. Uranus is at 27 degrees of Taurus. They're at the exact same degree, creating massive tension between them. And when these 2 planets clash like this, things that were hidden get revealed. Information that was suppressed comes bursting to the surface. Lost objects suddenly turn up in places you've already looked 100 times. Here's how I think about it. Mercury governs your thinking patterns, your logic, how you process information. When we lose something, we often get stuck in these repetitive mental loops. I already checked there. I know it's not in that drawer. I've looked everywhere. Our brain creates these patterns and we can't see past them. But Uranus shatters patterns. It's the planet of sudden insights, unexpected revelations, breakthroughs that seem to come out of nowhere. When Uranus squares Mercury, it disrupts your normal thinking process. It creates a glitch that forces you to see things differently. And that's when you find what you've been looking for. Not because it magically appeared, but because the mental block that prevented you from seeing it finally cracked open. I've experienced this myself with Mercury-Uranus transits. You know that moment when you're looking for your keys, you've checked the counter 3 times, and then on the 4th time they're just there? That's this energy. It's not that the keys weren't there before, it's that your brain literally couldn't process seeing them until the pattern broke. Now scale that up to bigger things. If someone has been lying to you, the truth might slip out tomorrow in an unexpected way. A text sent to the wrong person, an accidental revelation, something they say without thinking. If you've been waiting for news about money, a job, or any situation that's been stagnant, tomorrow could bring that sudden breakthrough. And here's what makes this even more powerful. Uranus just stationed direct 2 days ago on February 3rd. It's been retrograde since August, and during that time things have felt stuck, blocked, like you're trying to move forward but something keeps holding you back. The direct station is like releasing a pressure valve. All that built-up energy, it's ready to move. This is why I think tomorrow specifically is so potent for restoration. The moon sets the intention for justice, and the Mercury-Uranus square provides the event, the discovery, the revelation, the return of what was lost. 3 signs are standing at the center of this cosmic reset. So while everyone is going to feel this energy to some degree, there are 3 zodiac signs that are geometrically positioned right at the epicenter of what's happening tomorrow. And if you're one of these signs, or you have these signs prominent in your chart, pay very close attention. The 3 signs receiving the most direct cosmic justice tomorrow are Libra, Aquarius, and Taurus. And it's not random, it's based on the specific planetary positions and how they're interacting with each sign. Let me break down what I think is happening for each one, because the restoration coming to each sign looks very different. If you're a Libra, your voice is coming back. Libra, this one is deeply personal for you. The moon entering your sign tomorrow means you're the emotional protagonist of this entire event. For the next 2.5 days, the universe is literally focused on restoring your equilibrium. And I think what's been taken from you recently is your sense of agency, your ability to speak up for yourself. Maybe you've been in a situation where you felt like you had to stay quiet to keep the peace. Maybe you've been giving and giving in a relationship without receiving anything back. Classic Libra trap, right? You're so focused on maintaining harmony that you sacrifice your own needs. But tomorrow, something shifts. The moon in your sign connects beautifully with all those planets currently in Aquarius, the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars. This creates a flowing trine aspect, which is like opening a channel for energy to move freely. And what that means for you is that suddenly you can express yourself without creating conflict. You can set boundaries without feeling guilty. You can ask for what you need without worrying about upsetting everyone else. The restoration coming to you might be social. Maybe someone who's been treating you unfairly suddenly apologizes. Maybe you get credit for work you did that was overlooked. Maybe a misunderstanding that damaged your reputation gets cleared up. And the Mercury-Uranus square is perfect for that kind of sudden truth revelation. Or it could be creative. If you've had a project shelved, a creative idea that lost momentum, tomorrow might be when inspiration strikes again, when the motivation returns, when what felt blocked suddenly flows. And here's what I really want you to understand. You don't have to force this. The energy is working for you tomorrow. Your job is just to stay open to receiving it, to trust that the universe is rebalancing your scales. Does that resonate? If you're an Aquarius, the truth is about to vindicate you. Aquarius, you have been under so much pressure lately, and I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've got the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Pluto all in your sign right now. That's a massive stellium, an overwhelming concentration of energy focused directly on you. And while that sounds powerful, it can actually feel suffocating. It's like being under a spotlight 24/7, every move scrutinized, every idea questioned. It's exhausting, right? What I believe has been taken from you is your credibility, your right to be heard and believed. Aquarius energy is naturally ahead of its time. You see solutions before other people even recognize the problems. But that often means you're dismissed, laughed at, told you're being unrealistic or too idealistic. Tomorrow that changes. Mercury, your ruling planet in modern astrology, is the trigger point in this whole cosmic event. At 27 degrees of your sign, it's at the very end, the urgency point. And when it squares Uranus, it's like the universe is saying, enough. This person was right. Listen to them. The restoration coming to you is intellectual and reputational. The idea you pitched that was rejected, new information might surface tomorrow that proves you were right all along. The solution you proposed? Someone might suddenly realize it's exactly what's needed. The innovation you've been working on, recognition could come from an unexpected source. And I've seen this happen with Mercury-Uranus squares before. It's not subtle, it's sudden. It's like the evidence just drops into place, undeniable and clear. You might also experience restoration of your independence. Aquarius values freedom above almost everything, and if you've been feeling trapped in obligations or expectations lately, tomorrow could bring a breakthrough. An unexpected out, a sudden realization that you don't have to keep doing something that's draining you. Trust that the truth is on your side tomorrow. You don't need to defend yourself or prove anything. The cosmic forces are doing that work for you. If you're a Taurus, something material is being returned to you. Taurus, your restoration is the most tangible of all three signs, and I mean that literally. This could be about actual physical objects, money, or material security returning to you. Uranus has been in your sign since 2018, and it's been a lot. Uranus is the planet of disruption and change, and Taurus is the sign that craves stability and predictability. It's like having an earthquake machine permanently installed in your foundation. Everything that used to feel solid has been shaky. But here's what's different now. Uranus just stationed direct. After 5 months of retrograde motion, it's moving forward again. And tomorrow, when Mercury squares it from Aquarius, it's creating a breakthrough point specifically around resources, money, possessions, and self-worth. The restoration coming to you could be financial, a refund you'd given up on, a debt someone finally repays, an unexpected check, a raise or bonus you weren't expecting. Or it could be more literal, an object you lost that suddenly turns up. Maybe something valuable you thought was gone forever. But there's also a deeper layer here. Taurus rules self-worth, and I think what's really being restored to you tomorrow is your sense of value, your confidence in your own abilities, your trust that you can create stability for yourself, even in uncertain times. And here's something really interesting. Venus, your ruling planet, is currently in Aquarius, and Uranus, which is in your sign, is ruled by Aquarius. This creates what's called a mutual reception. The two planets are in each other's signs, giving them access to each other's tools and resources. What that means practically is that the restoration happening for you tomorrow uses both innovation, Uranus, and attraction, Venus. You might find resources through unexpected technological or social means. Maybe through a connection on social media. Maybe through a new platform or system. Maybe through a friend introducing you to an opportunity. The key is staying open to receiving in ways you wouldn't normally expect. The universe is finding creative ways to return what's yours. Other signs will feel this too. Here's what's coming for you. Now, even if you're not one of those three main signs, you're still going to feel this energy tomorrow. It's just going to manifest in different areas of your life based on where Libra falls in your chart. If you're an Aries, this hits your relationships. Partnerships that felt one-sided might suddenly rebalance. A compromise you've been waiting for might finally happen. Justice in your closest connections. If you're a Gemini, this activates your creativity and joy. That playful, fun energy that's been missing, it's coming back tomorrow. Maybe a romantic situation that fizzled might reignite. Maybe creative inspiration returns after a dry spell. If you're a Cancer, this is about emotional security and home. The Jupiter connection here is really beautiful. Jupiter is exalted in your sign right now, and it's connecting with tomorrow's events in a way that could bring deep emotional restoration. Family harmony after conflict. Feeling safe again after a period of vulnerability. If you're a Leo, you just had a full moon in your sign on February 1st, so you're in integration mode. Tomorrow's Libra moon hits your communication sector. Misunderstandings get cleared up, apologies get made, the right words finally come. If you're a Virgo, you're literally moving out of the anxious analysis phase and into the now we fix it phase. This hits your finances and values. What you lost might be material, or it might be confidence in your own worth. Either way, restoration is coming. If you're a Scorpio, this is happening in your subconscious. You might not see external changes immediately, but internally, a psychological burden lifts. A fear dissolves. An enemy, visible or invisible, is neutralized. If you're a Sagittarius, your friendships and community are where justice arrives. If you felt excluded or disconnected from your tribe, tomorrow builds bridges back. A lost friendship could resurface or reconcile. If you're a Capricorn, this hits your career and public reputation. Professional vindication is possible, getting credit you deserved, recognition that was withheld, or a correction to the record about your work or character. And if you're a Pisces, with Mercury about to enter your sign on the 6th, you're in a transition moment. Tomorrow's energy hits your shared resources, insurance claims, tax refunds, joint finances. Something that was delayed or denied might suddenly get approved. The window is narrow. Tomorrow is the day. Here's what I need you to understand about timing. Mercury is at 27 degrees of Aquarius tomorrow. That's the very last degrees of the sign, what astrologers call the anaretic degree. There's an urgency to it, a now or never quality. On February 6th, Mercury moves into Pisces and the whole energy changes. The clarity and logic of Aquarius dissolves into the fog and intuition of Pisces, which is beautiful in its own way, but it's not the energy of sharp revelation and sudden discovery. So tomorrow specifically, February 5th, is when the window is open, when the mechanism of restoration is most active, when the universe is most precisely calibrated to return what was taken and reveal what was hidden. If there's something you've been waiting to hear, tomorrow could be the day you hear it. If there's something you've been looking for, tomorrow might be when you find it. If there's justice you've been seeking, tomorrow the scales might finally balance. And I don't think this requires you to do anything dramatic or complicated. You don't need elaborate rituals or special techniques. What I believe you need is simple awareness. Stay present tomorrow. Pay attention to sudden insights, unexpected messages, surprising discoveries. Don't dismiss the seemingly random thought that pops into your head. It might be the exact information you need. If you're looking for something specific, try looking in illogical places. Remember, Uranus breaks patterns. The lost item might be exactly where you thought it couldn't possibly be. The answer might come from a source you'd normally ignore. And if restoration comes to you tomorrow, when justice arrives, when what was taken returns, when the truth reveals itself, acknowledge it. Thank the universe for the correction. Because I really believe that gratitude amplifies this energy and keeps the channel open for more. All right, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you and you want to see more content like this, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you know. And please drop a comment below. I really want to hear if any of this has been happening to you already, or if tomorrow brings the cosmic justice you've been waiting for. We're all in this together. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.